Captain Leora Verin watched the blinking warning lights of the derelict research vessel, Artemis, as it drifted near the edge of the null expanse, a sector of space where even light seemed hesitant to travel. The distress signals had been broadcast for hours, but no fleets answered. No fleets ever answered here. Her crew had grown tense, fingers hovering over consoles, every sensor reading a potential harbinger of doom. The Artemis had been studying gravitational anomalies in the sector when contact was lost, leaving the crew stranded with limited power, failing life support, and a growing sense of inevitability. "This is beyond routine salvage," said Commander Rel, his voice tight. "If we go in, we go alone. No backup, no reinforcements." Leo's jaw tightened. "Then we make our own rescue. That's all there is." The void beyond the viewport stretched infinitely, dark and cold, broken only by distant, unidentifiable stars. The team could feel the oppressive silence of space pressing in on them. And even there, AI Vox hesitated before scanning the anomaly. "Signals confirm life support failing. Estimated survival window 72 hours, it intoned. Inside the Artemis, panic was already taking root. Crew members were frantically trying to repair critical systems with no spare parts. The communication logs indicated that the anomaly was affecting their navigation systems, pulling them deeper into the null expanse, into isolation. "Captain, the nearest human fleet is unreachable," Rel said, his words slicing the room. "No rescue is coming." Leora stared at the failing ship on a monitor, then at her crew. "Then we'll be their rescue," she said firmly, her eyes scanning the uncharted sector. "Even if we have to tear the universe apart to do it." With a trembling hum, the Artemis's hull glimmered as if begging to be saved. Time was bleeding away, and the void offered no mercy, only courage, audacity, and a trace of human stubbornness. Kloof pierced this darkness, and Leora had both. She activated the Chronos drive, the experimental faster-than-light engine, capable of bending space itself. The crew gripped their seats as reality seemed to fold around them, and the stars stretched into luminous lines. But just as the engines roared, something moved in the darkness, a shadow among shadows. It was enormous, too vast to comprehend, dark energy coiling around its form. The void creature had been lurking, feeding on stranded vessels, and the Artemis had just become prey. "Brace for impact," Leora ordered. Though she knew the term was meaningless here, there was no impact that could compare. Only survival, only courage, only humanity. And as the dark shape lunged, sensors screamed an alarm. Energy readings off the charts, and the crew braced for the inevitable. The universe seemed ready to claim them. Then, in a moment that felt impossibly small and impossibly vast, a pulse of human engineering cut through the void, and a silhouette appeared where there should have been nothing. A warship unlike anything they had seen before, sleek, immense, and bristling with silent power. It emerged from nowhere, the void itself seeming to bend around its hull, a signal fired across space, not a warning, but a promise. "Human fleet," whispered Rel, awe in his voice. "No," Leora said, gripping the console. "Not a fleet, a human warship." And in that silence, the impossible became inevitable. The warship moved like a phantom, yet every movement radiated purpose and precision. Its hull gleamed with a faint blue light that seemed alive, as if the ship itself was breathing. The crew of the Artemis stared through the viewport, hearts pounding, not believing what they were seeing. "Identify that vessel," Commander Rel said, his voice shaky. "It's not in any registry. No human construction matches this signature." Leora's fingers danced over her console, trying to analyze, but the readings defied logic. "It's human," she whispered, "and it's coming for us." The warship's engines emitted a subtle hum that resonated across the Artemis's hull, filling the ship with a sense of security. The creature that had been stalking them recoiled, as if recognizing a predator far greater than itself. The void trembled with the silent authority of human engineering. "Captain, the anomaly is accelerating," Rel said, panic creeping back. "It's pulling the Artemis deeper. Life support critical in less than 48 hours. Leora exhaled, her hands steady on the console. "Let's hope this warship has more than good looks," she muttered, knowing full well that courage alone would not save them. Outside, the shadow creature lunged again, its form twisting, trying to envelop the Artemis, but the warship intercepted with surgical precision. Beams of concentrated energy sliced the darkness, carving corridors of safety through the void. The creature shrieked, a soundless wail that made senses overload, and then it recoiled, retreating into the black. The crew of the Artemis stared, in awe, not just at the warship, but at the unmistakable signature of human design. Something beyond standard military protocol, a machine built to defy impossible odds. The warship's hull opened, and a communications channel flickered online. A calm, unwavering voice spoke. Leora Verin, of the Artemis. We are the Dauntless. We are here. The words carried weight, authority, and a promise that transcended space. Prepare for docking. The voice continued. You are not alone. Rel's hands trembled as he relayed the instructions to the crew. The docking sequence was complex, but the warship guided them effortlessly. Its presence alone seemed to stabilize the failing systems of the Artemis, giving them precious minutes. Look at this, said Lieutenant Keir, pointing at the sensors. Life support is regenerating. Systems are recalibrating as if the ship is healing us. Leora felt a surge of disbelief and hope. She had seen human ingenuity before, but this was beyond imagination. A warship designed not just to fight, but to save, to assert dominance over even the void itself. As the Artemis edged, Cliff saw the Dauntless extended docking arms like massive metallic tendrils, drawing them safely inside. The crew felt the first real sense of relief in days. The void's suffocating silence was replaced by the hum of human life and engineering. And yet, even as they docked, the shadow creature lurked at the edge of senses, waiting, calculating, knowing that human intervention had arrived, but not yet defeated. Leora clenched her jaw, staring at the vastness outside. No rescue was coming. Until now, she murmured. And for the first time, the hopelessness that had gripped her began to dissolve. The warship was more than a savior. It was a statement, a warning to the void. Humanity would not wait. Humanity would rise. Humanity would fight. And the Dauntless was living proof. Inside the Dauntless, the Artemis crew finally felt the weight of safety, yet the void outside reminded them that survival was never guaranteed. The warship's corridors hummed with energy, each panel radiating a quiet authority that spoke of countless battles survived, countless lives saved. Follow me, said a figure in a sleek uniform. The insignia, unfamiliar, yet undeniably human. I am Commander Celine Core, captain of the Dauntless. Will stabilize your ship and evacuate your crew. Leora nodded, trying to absorb the reality of the situation. The Artemis's crew were scientists, engineers, not soldiers. Yet the presence of the warship inspired a courage they didn't know they had. We're still trapped in the null expanse, Rel reminded her. Whatever that thing was, it's not gone. It's waiting. Celine's eyes were sharp, unwavering. Then we give it a reason to fear humans, she said, and her words carried a weight that seemed to ripple through the air. Back on the Artemis's systems began to stabilize as the Dauntless interfaced with its failing engines. The warship's AI, Ether, worked seamlessly, patching damaged circuits, recalibrating navigation, and even countering the gravitational pull of the anomaly. The crew could barely comprehend the speed and efficiency. It was as if the ship was alive, reacting with instinct and intelligence. Outside, the shadow creature lingered, massive and amorphous, probing the Dauntless, testing its defenses. But the warship moved with grace, positioning itself like a shield, its hull radiating a subtle, almost imperceptible glow that pushed the darkness back. We're not just going to survive, Celine said, addressing Leora and her crew. We're going to end this. Leora felt the weight of those words, a mixture of awe and determination flooding her chest. For the first time in days, fear began to be replaced with purpose. The Dauntless launched a series of countermeasures, energy pulses that lanced through the void, mapping the anomaly, its edges, its weaknesses. The creature reacted violently, but for every strike, the warship adapted, proving human strategy and innovation could outmatch raw chaos. This is incredible, Keir whispered, watching the display. It's not just a ship, it's a weapon, and a guardian. Celine nodded, and it's only one of many. Humanity has learned to build machines that don't just fight, but protect, survive, and push the boundaries of the impossible. For a moment, time seemed suspended, the void holding its breath. Then the creature surged forward. A final, desperate attack, and the Dauntless responded instantly. Energy beams cutting through the darkness, striking with precision and overwhelming force. Leora gritted her teeth, feeling every shudder of the Artemis as the battle unfolded around them. Yet despite the chaos, a single truth crystallized in her mind. Humans didn't just endure the void, they dominated it, and those who underestimated them would pay dearly. The shadow recoiled, weakened, Confused by the sheer audacity of the human warship,